Well, I got to laugh. I think this time, well, well, there's a saying I've always learned: blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. I was actually supposed to go down to a party in Athens, Ohio, and if anybody knows, it's anybody knows about Halloween weekend in Athens, Ohio, they know, no, not really. And thankfully, one thing led to another, and the guests said, something happened at our house. And anyway, let's just say something like our boiler blew up. So obviously, they went to party. So just as well. So I guess in the efforts of learning flexibility, I guess it's time now for another impromptu episode of Brother Mark, Turner Syndromes, Butterflies, and Life. And so it's funny, I'm not fluent in Spanish. I can read Spanish. And something got lost in translation, but I kind of liked the fact that it did. A text came in from a sister in I can't know, she's from Mexico, from South America. I've got so many butterflies in Mexico and in South America. I've got a favorite gal in Colombia. I mean, if anybody's a model butterfly, she's it. Love her for the world. But in translation, we got what I got. The message came in Spanish, and so I went ahead and read it and translated and checked against my translation software. And the question is, how do you love a butterfly? How do you love a woman with Turner syndrome? Whether it's a child or an adult member, how do you do it? The reality is, she actually wanted to know, was looking for information on it, and so, but it's still, even though it literally got lost in the translation, I still loved the idea, and I kind of shared it with Amy George-Larick, and she said, "Wow, that's fascinating. I got to think about that one." So it's not as good as something got lost in translation, but how do you love somebody with Turner syndrome? I had to think about that one, because our church has an active ministry to children and adults with Turner syndrome, and the parents and the caregivers. We have a ministry called Wonderfully Made. How do you do it? Fascinating question. How have I done it? Am I perfect? Don't look at me. But how have I done it? Well, first off, I do a lot of watching. I do a lot of understanding. Let's see if that's that. There we go. That looks a little better. I do a lot of understanding. I safely go to people that I can ask those stupid questions. So if I'm being naive, at least I won't. If I'm wrong, at least I don't have to I won't put my foot in it. So at least I got some people I can go to behind the scenes and ask those stupid questions, so that I am better informed. For me, education, reading, watching, learning, asking questions, How can I be helpful? What can I do? That's one way, and just listening, and the fact that I was aware of the how the learning disabilities play out, and the one thing that I can easily recognize. I watch the traffic. The weather today is just absolutely ghastly. So I'm glad I'm turning around and going home. But anyway, I listen a lot. I know a lot about learning disabilities. I've grown up with myself. I too misread stuff and they overreact to stuff. I'm too sometimes I realize that a lot of butterflies have another animal that they have in common, and I told the story too. I was joking around with a favorite butterfly many years ago, and she's very shy and very withdrawn until you get to know her. Then you got to watch her sense of humor. Watch out, folks. You know, and that's just been in town. Love for the world. But one day we're kind of kidding around, and I was talking about her shyness, and I just offhand made the observation, I said, do you think the national symbol of Turner syndrome should be the turtle? And she thought about it for a second, and she just broke up and laughed in hysterical laughter, and it took her a few minutes to recover, and she said, yeah, Mark. After she finally caught her breath, she said, yeah, I think you're right. So some of us have a lot of fear. I don't love a butterfly. I don't have any expectations. That's one way. I don't have any expectations. I don't ask of any expectations. I said, to any Turner sister, just come as you are. That's all I ask. And sometimes, like a good potluck, I've sometimes brought recovery ideas that I've learned in my 12-step groups over the years. They work. Fancy that. Setting boundaries. I deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. But it's okay to say no, or it's okay if and I have no problem if a sister just has a bad day, that either the body's not working, the mind's not working, the pressure's not working. I get it, I understand. I'm accommodating. I don't take it personally. I understand. So how do I love a butterfly? I try to understand what's going on. How have I learned to love a butterfly? I've actually read a lot. And not only read up on Turner syndrome, but I've also, my own personal reading has gone over to Asperger's, Williams, NVLD. I've read on dealing with learning disabilities in the school settings. It's actually helped me in my work situation too, so everybody won. So I educate myself. That way I am in a better position to love a butterfly. What do I ask for? Nothing. Be yourself. And it's worked. Be forgiving. Don't hold grudges. Don't hold resentments. Sometimes conversations just kind of go south. Sometimes, the synapses just don't synapse, and I've had those conversations, and I'm used to it, and it doesn't bother me. So I learned to be understanding. I learned to be accommodating. I learned to be encouraging. I have lots of prayers and cyber hugs. Lots of words, just simple words of encouragement, just something about, I'm sorry you're not feeling well today. I just, whatever. I hope you get to the other side of the depression. Sometimes I have literally dropped everything and prayed. It's like, oh no, somebody's in trouble. I will. That's one of the greatest acts of love and caring, is dropping everything. Sometimes I'll follow up, and sometimes the sister may never find out about it. That's another way of caring. Words of encouragement. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Get well soon. Sometimes it's simple. It's just having the virtual coffee pot open. And sometimes when there have been times that we lose a sister, particularly to aortic dissection. Hold on for just a second. I'm there. And the sisters know I'm there. And it hurts me. It just really breaks me up. When we lose a sister, it just hits me hard. The sisters know that we can get together and we can hold each other's hands. We can cry. We can talk. Sometimes the condition is so maddening. Sometimes I just say, would you like a punching bag? Would you just like to get out of your system? It's okay, you can do that. Just being there, no expectations. How do I love a sister? Well, I obviously support Turner Syndrome Foundation, Turner Syndrome Canada. Our church is in the infant stages of having a ministry to those with Turner Syndrome. What does it look like? We don't know. How do I love one? I'm there. I listen. I read. And the last thought that comes to mind is I advocate. I educate people at every chance I can get. You know, I explain it, I explain the condition, I explain the challenges and kind of where I fit into things. And just now I was in a Starbucks and a conversation came up on Turner Syndrome. I was talking to a lady and she was appreciative of the information. I've talked to special education teachers. We just happened to strike up a conversation on the plane when I'm traveling somewhere. And I educate them. Said, I've spoken with special ed students at John Carroll University, and I've had one say, you know, okay, we got in our textbooks, but now I've got something I can grab onto. And talk like that. I think it was a sister, I know it was a sister in Texas or a sister in Utah. And I think she really hit it. You know, being with Turner Syndrome, it's a cold, lonely world out there sometimes. Nobody understands us. Everybody misunderstands us. We get bullied. So if somebody on the outside wants to come and advocate for us, then let them. Yeah, I know we've got the naysayers, and I know how they got there. How do you love a how do you love a naysayer? You love them. You forgive them. You understand. I mean, I set boundaries. I mean, if somebody's going to be verbally abusive, I think no. But if somebody comes to a place where it comes to the, I would say to a naysayer, I love them. And I understand. And I also believe in a higher power. You may not share the same higher power, but that's okay. Who can heal and restore relationships. And that's, hold on a sec. Little slow on-ramp here. As I say, driving rain, so I also have to be forgiving of the slowpoke in front of me too, so but I forgive, I understand, and I believe in a higher power that can heal broken relationships, that can help those who are in fear understand their fear and not let the fear own them. I believe in a higher power that can make heroes, and the real heroes are going to be the ones, the bullies who realized, uh-oh, I messed up. The real heroes in the Turner Syndrome community are the ones who own their fears, don't let the fears get to them, own their bullying, realize what it's doing to others, and they want to do something about it. And that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, butterflies and friends, cats, dogs, and gerbils, those will be the real heroes. And those will be the butterflies we can really love. I got a long way to go. God's not done with me. But I'll do my best. And any sister knows me well that I'm always there. And I think the last thing I checked that was up my arms, up my sleeves, was just my arms. So, anyway, just some random thoughts, and share your thoughts. I think a lot of other sisters have already said, yeah, and maybe you can come back to us out in the world who want to be supportive. Maybe you can tell us, how can we love? How can we be supportive? How can we be supportive friends, brothers and sisters? And how can we get it right? Take what you like, leave the rest. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Tell your friends and neighbors about it. And no, you don't have to worry about some multi-level marketing scheme. Hey, you got fun in this line of work, I'll tell you. But I'll talk to you next time.